السلام عليكم يا شباب ويا بنات، كيف حالكم؟ إن شاء الله طيبين. إن شاء الله اليوم راح أكمل The Hand of Glory. بسم الله نبدأ. آخر مرة جينا هنا المانشن، خلصنا هذاك الديبارتمنت وجينا هنا. خلنا طبعا أول شيء تشوف هذا المطلوب. Now I can investigate the mansion and LA.
Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
I'm interested in hearing other opinions about Catherine Molsberg.
We all love her in this house. Senor Mulsberg is always buried in the work while Catherine brings sunshine in these walls. Unfortunately, no obstante she's such a happy girl, she hasn't got many friends.
Her father's name is probably a deterrent for acquaintances, and above all, boyfriends.
God bless you for what you are doing for her. I just know that La Señorita is still alive.
Where does this confidence of yours come from?
Dios would never let one of his sweetest creatures be hurt.
I was going to tell her that in real life nobody is ever spared from evil, but I held my tongue. That woman was already upset enough on her own. Stick around, Lupe. If I needed it, I'd go back to get it. I didn't know much about music, but that sheet music was weird. I didn't know much about music. In that house, a terrible crime had just been committed. The air in the living room was thick with fear, hate, and anguish. Ah, to hell with it. Maybe some good music would boost morale. Or maybe not.
زين يعرف يعزف. نشوف
An old-style phone. One of those with the rotary dials. An old-style phone. It seemed more comfortable than my bed. Come to think of it, it probably was. These rich guys could afford fabric more expensive than my own skin. The piano was a wonder. Polished and well-kept, it evoked images of evening galas accompanied by smooth background music. I noticed the sheet music that had been left on the piano. I didn't know much about music, but that sheet... I didn't know much about... I wasn't interested in the products. On the other hand, I noticed a side compartment containing some fresh white clothes from the washing machine. If I wanted to, I could have used the piano stool somehow. Spick and span linen. Molsberg had clearly conveyed that he didn't want me in his room. So that was the entrance to Catherine Molsberg's room. Both entrances were locked. Lupe hadn't warned me about that. But within me, to my core, I knew that something like this would happen. Both doors led to Catherine Molsberg's room. I still had to find the main key, with which I could unlock both entrances. It seemed authentic. The Molsbergs even had a coat of arms. It seemed authentic. He was clutching that medallion as if it could protect him from something terrible. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely, but he was related to Molsberg. He was clutching that medallion. I didn't want to read the plaque. A guy with a mean face and a diabolical goatee. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely, but he was related to Molsberg. What a big face. Aw. I didn't want to read the plaque entirely, but he was related to... When I was a kid, I always dreamed of wearing one of those shiny suits of armor to parade around the city. Ah, who am I kidding? I still dream of it. Well, it didn't seem like a replica. The Molesbergs must have had a considerable fortune. I still had to find the main key. Both doors led to Catherine Molesberg's room.
ممكن أسألها عن المفتاح. أسأل الخادمة.
Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
I found the doors on the upper floor locked. It's not exactly a good way to start an investigation.
Oh, el señor must have locked them all because la policía has finished its investigations. Pero estoy segura que the key is on the upper floor somewhere. El problema es que I don't know exactly where. Do you mind looking for it?
Nah, I'm used to these kinds of situations. Thanks anyway. Stick around, Lupe. Hello, Lupe.
Do you need some?
Stick around, Lupe. Molesberg had clearly the door led to the room of the tycoon. The cart contained many products for house cleaning.
طلعت أشياء جديدة. لأن الظاهر قالت لنا يعني يمديك
I looked
تبحث.
inside the vase in search of the key, but I only found spiderwebs. Way to go, maid. Who would have ever thought to look in there? Well, except me. A radiator wasn't the best hideout for a key. Once, I dropped a key inside the gaps between columns, and it took half a day to recover it. At this point, it should be clear that I have a serious problem with keys. I took a look inside the lamp, but the key wasn't there. I took a look inside the lamp, but the key wasn't there. Maybe the key was hidden up there, but it was too high for me to reach it.
Okay. Stool.
I thought of putting the piano stool in a useful position to reach the top of the frame.
أيوه هذا.
I unlocked both entrances to the room and finally prepared to start my investigation. I only needed a quick glance to realize that something inside that room wasn't as it should be. Not even a minimum sign of struggle. No item out of place. None of the typical evidence usually found at a kidnapping scene. The bed was even made. I was sure that Eric Molesberg hadn't had the room fixed up after the alleged crime. All right, let's try to understand what happened in here.
Catherine Holmes hiding something, I am sure.
The room as a whole reflected the shy personality of someone barely beyond her childhood years. That poster was curiously out of place. It exuded repressed fury and bloodshed. An inner conflict? The room as a whole exuded It had been a while since I'd practiced with the blue steel. I was still handsome, even in darkness. With a mirror like that, it would have been much easier to match a scarf to my clothes. I had to get one. The room as a whole exuded strange. The bed wasn't disturbed, and yet Catherine had been kidnapped overnight. There were dolls everywhere in that room. Either Catherine was really tied to her past, or she was traumatized by it. The projector worked only through the insertion of rectangular cartridges, but I couldn't find any of those. A little outdated as technology. Who still uses a projector these days? Was the girl fond of antiques? The drawer contained only a few sheets of paper with nothing interesting on them, and a fiberglass bowl containing some little numbers, like the ones used to play bingo. I didn't want to move them. They might be hiding a clue. Notes, scribbles. There was no hint or clue on those pages. Notes. The jewelry box contained exactly what I expected. Jewels. Surely they weren't trinkets. That the girl was filthy rich wasn't exactly news. It looked like a common jewelry box. The jewelry box contained The drawer contained some white. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something. It was stuck, and so in all probability unused. That drawer hadn't been opened for ages. Was it really worth it? In that moment, it didn't. No matter how hard I tried, I was all out of ideas. That drawer hadn't been opened for ages. I thought it was better to look. I thought it was better to look. That drawer hadn't been. That side of the house faced a small backyard, where I could see an unused shed. Directly below the window was a trash can. If the girl decided to get rid of something compromising, all she had to do was throw it in the garbage. I decided to check. There was nothing else to see. There was nothing of interest to me at the moment. I scanned through the volumes displayed in the little bookcase. Greek history. My God, how shameful. There was no comics section. The projector worked only through the insertion of rectangular cartridges, but I couldn't find any of those. My skin smells natural, so no need to wash it. The bathtub was monumental. Tiny and intricately detailed tiles surrounded the external ceramic. I've always suffered from a strange phobia. Strangers' bathrooms terrify me. Even the water closet was high class. Just hygiene products, nothing I wanted to examine thoroughly. Just hygiene products, nothing I wanted to. I thought the room visible on the lower floor was Eric Bolsberg's. The bathtub was monumental, tiny and intricate. My skin smells natural, so no. Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
Stick around, Lupe. When I was a kid, I always dreamed of wearing one of those shiny... who am I kidding? It was stuck, and so in all probability unused. That drawer hadn't been opened for ages. The jewelry box contained exactly what I expected. Jewels. It looked like a common jewelry box. Yes, one of the keys belonged to that lock. Yes. Spick and span linen. It looked very durable. I thought it was better to look for another solution. Better think about it. Sometimes, maybe. I didn't Maybe. Was it really worth? I didn't understand how that could possibly help me. My beloved badge. How much abuse? The room as a whole reflected the shy personality of someone barely beyond her childhood years. That poster was curiously out of place. It exuded repressed fury and bloodshed. An inner conflict? With a mirror like that, it would have been much easier to match a scarf to my clothes. I had to get one. With a mirror like that, it would have been much easier to match a scarf to my clothes. I had to get one. I thought it was better to look... I scanned through the volumes displayed in the little bookcase. Greek history, ecology, botany, astronomy. My God, how shameful. There was nothing of interest. There was nothing else to see. There was nothing else. Strange. The bed wasn't disturbed, and yet Catherine had been kidnapped overnight. A little outdated as technology. Who still uses a projector these days? Was the girl fond of antiques? The projector worked only through the insertion of rectangular cartridges, but I couldn't find any of those. There were dolls everywhere in that room. Either Catherine was really tied to her past, or she was traumatized by it. There were dolls everywhere in that room, or she was traumatized. With a mirror like that, it would have been... I had to get one. The room as a whole exuded Strange. Strange. There were dolls everywhere in that room. Either Catherine was really tied to her past, or she was traumatized. There were dolls, or she was traumatized. It seemed authentic. The Molesbergs even had a coat. In case of need, I know where to find it. The piano stool I brought to the upper floor to inspect the area. In case of need, I know where to find it. My skin smells natural, so no need to wash it. The bathtub was monumental. I thought the room visible on the lower floor was Eric Molesberg's.
أو يمكن أروح أفتش الآلية وأرجع.
It was time to act.
Who are you? And above all, why did you knock down the gate? It was open.
Oh, are you sure? Well, anyway, I'm surprised how many people don't read the newspaper anymore. I am. Lazarus Bundy! Lars to friends, but you can call me Bundy, Mr. Pirate. I'm the detective assigned to the case of young Catherine.
I'm relieved to see you here. That poor girl doesn't deserve what's happened to her.
Spare me the platitudes and don't go very far. I want to question you personally.
I'm not going anywhere. As if I could. They haven't given me a holiday since '95.
Hello, good man. Cut the small talk and tell me everything you know about the crime.
It was late at night when from my shed out back, I heard a loud crash. It gave me a shock. I rushed outside and found Mr. Molesberg in his robe. I don't know if I was more upset by that spectacle or the sign on the facade.
So you live in the vicinity. The kidnappers were reckless. You could have seen them.
The mansion is really dark at night and very isolated. We're more vulnerable to these sort of crimes than you think.
What do you think was the reason for the kidnapping? Excluding money, obviously.
Catherine was a very joyful girl. Everybody loved her. But then she refused to leave the house for months.
How come?
I don't know precisely. I mind my own business.
You have a very special talent.
I started for fun after watching a movie. And to my great surprise, I found out I was good at it.
Congratulations. This beaver came out really nice.
Can't you see it's a horse?
Stick around. That shorty with the hook was doing a good job. I could have stolen those keys just to kill time, but I preferred to wait. Surely the need to do that would arise soon enough. The gardener had a key ring hanging from his belt. The sweet clinking metal hypnotized me with subliminal messages. Steal me, Lazarus. Steal me now and don't think twice about it. Ooh. I could have stolen those keys just to kill time, but I preferred to wait. Surely the need to do that would arise soon enough. There were the green and soft leaves of spring, the dry and thorny leaves of summer, and the crispy brown ones, the symbol of autumn. The gardener had done a good job. There were the green and soft leaves of spring, the dry and thorny leaves of summer, and the crispy brown ones, the symbol of autumn. The gardener had done a good job. The sight could have fooled me, but surely not the smell. That was rosemary. I didn't want an egg in my coat. That egg was huge. I understood then why the hen had those bloodshot eyes. I didn't want an egg in... Come here, sweetie. I was suddenly hungry for broth. A harsh-looking hen. A chicken house. In this case, there was just one hen, but a very fierce-looking one. Why lock up that poor hen? The hatch was needed to lock the hen in the cage. It was open at the moment. Why lock up that poor hen? Hello, good man.
Yes?
Stick around. The back of the house revealed a separate floor. Clearly, the back area was reserved for the servants, and they kept it hidden from sight. If my assumptions were right, maybe I would find something useful in the middle. At first glance, I didn't see anything unusual. Then, from the filthy depths of that abyss, something emerged. As my friend Frank would say, bingo. Literally, had I worked this hard just to recover a bingo card? Yet, my intuition urged me to persist with that bingo card. Some of those numbers reminded me of something.
شكله لغز كرات البلياردو. Okay.
Another one of the gardener's creations. That flamingo was really well done. Better stay away from it. Buzzing, threatening, potentially lethal. They contain grain and animal feed. I was fond of that feed. It tasted like ham. They contain grain and animal feed. I was fond of that feed. It tasted like ham. The door was locked, but I didn't mind. I could go inside by the main entrance. It had to be the servants' entrance. Only a huge quantity of trash remained now. Here, Bridget. Come here, sweetie. Something in the look of that dog told me it didn't want to play. The dog bowl displayed the name Bridget, and yet a quick look was enough to make me realize the terrible oversight. It was clearly a male specimen. At least they didn't force you to wear a polka dot skirt, my friend. It was slimy dog food. Despite that, a primal instinct triggered inside me and made me drool. It was slimy dog food. Despite that, a primal... It was impossible to open the lock with my bare hands. I'd need the key. One of the two keys already opened the lock I had in my pocket. The other was too ancient to match the shed's lock. One of the two keys... Yes, one of the keys belonged to that lock. It was impossible to open... In that moment, it didn't seem to be a big lock kept... Hello, good man.
Yes?
Stick around. Lupe had already put the stool back in its place. If there's one thing I really hate, it's people that can't stand anything left out of place for more than 5 minutes. I didn't want to move them. They might be hiding a clue. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
Uh, 11. أتوقع هذه هي الأرقام.
There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
36.
There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
يمكن العكس.
There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
أني أكتبهم.
There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something. There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
أوكي. عشان ما نرجع شيء.
There were a bunch of numbers. 11, 23, 8, 52, 72, 36, 61. They had to mean something.
طيب. خلنا نفتح أرقام بالترتيب. لحظة، إذا فين هو موجود. هذا ها 88 8 52 72 36.
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand.
شو؟
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand.
ريت استند.
The jewelry box contained. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. The projector worked only through the insertion, but I couldn't find any of it. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand.
طيب يعني أسكرهم بالترتيب.
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand.
طيب
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. In that moment, was it really? Maybe. I didn't Was it really? Sometimes. Sometimes, my obsession with you. I thought it was better to look for an. Maybe. Or maybe not. Better think about it. Maybe. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I was all out of ideas. I thought it was better to look for another solution. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that. With a mirror like that, I had to get one. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. With a mirror like that, I had to get one. It was stuck, and so in all probability unused. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that. I didn't understand. Strange. The bed wasn't disturbed.
أو يمكن الكارد اللي تحت. والله يمكن الكارد هنا. حط الكارد هنا.
Better think about it. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that. Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
Stick around, Lupe.
أو يمكن
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand.
nightstand.
A small yacht was docked in front at the main entrance of the mansion. On its side were the words, Blue Mermaid. A bit trite for a name.
طيب نروح نفتش له عليه.
Seemed like a vending machine for chewing gum, but actually it contained soft marshmallows. That bad guy's face was haunting me. That bad guy's face was haunting me. I never liked staining walls. 2 spray cans, obviously used to paint that flashy graffiti on the wall. No trace of the events I would always remember as the night of the challenge. No trace of the event. The mannequin had been replaced with those sacks overnight. If one day I had to prove my story, it only would seem like the ravings of a madman. Then I noticed a metallic glitter among the sacks. Adrenaline flooding my body, my hand anxiously moved to reveal an empty tin can with lace tied to it. Burton repeatedly told me to wait a second whenever I was pumped full of adrenaline. In case one of my shoelaces broke, I'd have a good replacement. The kitchen was still closed for the weekend. I preferred not to find out. No trace of the events I would always remember as the night of the challenge. I never liked staining walls. That bad guy's face. In case one of my shoelaces... Maybe. Tin, empty, and filthy. Was it really worth... I was sure I would find only bills and late payment warnings. Sometimes it's better not to know, so I didn't open it. Why lock up that poor hen? The hatch was needed to lock the hen in the cage. It was open at the moment. A chicken house. In this case, there was... Come here, sweetie. I was suddenly hungry. A harsh-looking hen. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. Better think about it. A big lock kept the door barred. I could have stolen those keys just to kill time, but I preferred to wait. Surely the need to do that would arise soon enough. I was all out of ideas. In that moment, it didn't seem to be a good solution to me. I no longer needed to call. I wondered what my mother was doing at that precise moment. It had been years since we last spoke. Anyway, I had other things to worry about. I didn't need to call Alice right at. Hello, Lupe.
Do you need something?
Stick around, Lupe. Sometimes, my obsession. Was it really worth it? I thought the room. Was it really worth? My skin smells now. I was all out of ideas. That drawer hadn't been opened for ages. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that. There was nothing else to. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I didn't understand. spick and span like... I could tie some clothes to the radiator, creating a handmade rope to lower me from the window, but I couldn't see any reason why. I thought the room visible on the lower floor was Eric Bolsberg's. Just hygiene products, nothing I wanted to examine thoroughly. Just hygiene product. The bathtub was monumental. Tiny and intricately detailed tiles surrounded the external ceramic.
اوه اكون احط هالارقام هذه.
Those numbers had to mean something. What if they were a clue to the bingo card I found? Those numbers had to... What if they were a clue? I'd inserted the figures found... I inserted the numbers scribbled on the envelope.
ونحطهم جميعا. طيب هذه كذا عايش.
I'd inserted the figures found in the nightstand. I inserted the numbers scribbled on the envelope. The card was the right size to be inserted into the projector, almost as if it was specifically created for it. The light scattered before reaching the bookcase. I thought it was better to look for another solution. I inserted the numbers found in the envelope, but the beam of light only highlighted letters without a complete meaning. I was sure they were a clue, but I needed something else. I thought it was better to look for another solution.
أو نحط الأشياء المشتركة. 11 52
I was sure I'd set the right code. The first clues to suggest it were the numbers inside the drawer. Based only on those, though, the possible combinations would be countless. I got the key to reading it from the envelope I received the morning before. The lunatic was toying with me as a cat does a mouse, and yet I couldn't help but continue going down that road. I felt like an old man hearing the final number called, the victorious one. I had done it. The peculiar angle of the holes directed the beam of light toward 3 specific points on the bookcase, highlighting 3 syllables: Bal, Sa, Mo. balsamo, Italian for balm. Why did Catherine leave a clue in Italian? No, I was confused. All that work just served to lead me to a hygiene product? I was sure the bingo card was pointing to something inside that room. There was nothing of interest to me at the moment. I was sure the bingo card was pointing to something inside that room. With a mirror like that, I had to get one. I was sure the bingo card was pointing to something inside that room. I thought the room... I was sure the bingo... With a mirror like that, it would have been much... I had to get one. There were dolls everywhere in that room, or she was traumatized by... There were dolls everywhere in that, or she was traumatized... There was nothing else to see. There was nothing else to... I scanned through the volumes displayed in the little bookcase. Greek history, ecology, botany, astronomy. My God, how shameful. There was no comic section. There was nothing of interest to me. Notes, script. It was stuck. That drawer hadn't been opened. As weird as it might seem, the message hidden in the young girl's room led me to the word balsamo. It's Italian for balm. Still unsure of what I had just found, I took the product in question and looked at it more closely. Nothing. No writing, creases, or rip on the label. No tiny objects hidden in the gooey interior liquid. Just a simple damned balm. For that first day of investigation, I conceded defeat. I'd lost half a day risking my life on unstable makeshift ledges and in smelly sewers. I lost the other half playing bingo with the ghost of the person I was trying to find. Oh, and came away with sticky soap bubbles in my pockets. Yet, I couldn't think of anything I should have done differently. In a way, I was sure I had moved one step closer to the truth. There was going to be no ransom. The egregious Mr. Molesberg would have been waiting in vain until I found something.
November 13th.
Lately, I hardly get any sleep. This kidnapping case was making matters worse. An extravagant girl, Catherine, the claustrophobic atmosphere of the Molesberg mansion, a twisted challenge that was thrown at me, and that mask. That mask was haunting me. That morning, I found a surprise waiting for me in the Miami Harbinger. tucked between its pages, similar to the letter found 2 days before. An envelope stuck out. Inside it, a note, displaying some chess pieces, whose meaning would only become clear to me later, and a picture that immediately attracted my attention. Catherine, hand in hand with a guy I'd never seen before. I woke up with very few ideas, but this event gave me a new lead to investigate. But who sent that hint? I had to show the picture to Alice by the end of the day. I was sure she knew her stuff about online searches.
اوكي يا شباب، راح اوقف هنا واكمل ان شاء الله المرة الجاية. اتمنى الفيديو عجبكم. اشوفكم على خير وفي امان الله.